How to Create a Glitch Monologues Season 40 Chapter 3. This is Season 40 of How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix Monologues Episode 3. In this episode, we will be talking about the nature of rationalization and contextualization. To start off, the act of verbalization of experience is fundamentally contextualizing. It is the transformation of a subjective experience of reality into something intersubjective. It represents the formation of narrative, as the intersubjective produce of our impulses. But it is also fundamentally about reinforcement. For the moment that an impulse is verbalized to others, they will facilitate that impulse in one of the 9 plates. The nature of integration is that context precedes verbalization. In the integrated state, one's impulses are dialectically rationalized by the pre-existing bonds that one has with others. In other words, the verbalization step is removed from the process, as the internal process of contextualization is facilitated by the tonic-dominant bond. All of this is to say that rationalization is fundamentally about providing reinforcement. For the moment that an impulse is verbalized, either internally through integration or externally through verbalization, it becomes an intersubjective narrative subject to the affirming narratives of others in both dissonant consensualities and within the expression of the 9 plates of meaning, exposed through multiplicity. Now, empathy is fundamentally a contextualizing act. It draws the other into an internal space such that one's actions are rationalized unconsciously through the tonic-dominant bond. That is to say, rationalization is reinforcement. For even when inhibited, these impulses play out in the dissonant consensualities that we manifest. Which is to say that others will affirm these impulses, resulting in a return to integration, or they will generate avoidance and desynchronization of our bodily rhythms with some other. Now, we talk about decontextualization as the process of removing the context from an experience, but it is more than that. In the rejection of integration, one is eliminating the reinforcement provided by synchronization, the gradual unworking of one's context from one's action, the rationalization of others generating the intersubjective component of an experience. Unintegrated selves are isolated, in the sense that they are free of the reinforcement provided through dissonant consensualities, but they exist in a bubble of dissonance, which either manifests in dissonant consensualities or is integrated through the dissonance we produce in the tonic-dominant bond. The isolating effect of decontextualization is a product of its integration spatially. A dissonant consensuality is therefore disentangling, but in the recontextualization created by its interactions with others, it translates this disentangling into spatial dissonance. Spatial dissonance is the product of dissonance which fundamentally begins in the rejection of an affirming narrative within dissonant consensualities. To conclude, the tonic-dominant bond is contextualizing. Interactions between people are contextualizing. Decontextualization combined with production of a rejection of affirmatory impulses creates desynchronization. Rationalization is reinforcement. The intersubjective produce of our impulses is a product of this process. That's the end of the podcast for today. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe.